Welcome to Seeing Green Solutions for Our Daily Lives, the podcast where we spotlight the brands, ideas, and people making it easier to live sustainably every day. Today's episode is part of our Spotlight series, a deep dive into one of our Seeing Green Solutionists of the day. And now, today's solution.
Welcome to episode 27 of the Seeing Green podcast. Today's deep dive is part of the Seeing Green Spotlight series, where we take a closer look at the Seeing Green Solutionist of the day and the real solutions they bring to help us be healthier and greener in our daily lives. And hey, if you're enjoying what you hear, please remember to subscribe. And follow us too. We're at Seeing Green Eco across social media.
All right, today we're tackling a really popular topic, sustainable mobility. And we're putting Rad Power Bikes in the spotlight.
Yeah, Rad Power Bikes. They've become, almost synonymous with e-bikes for a lot of people in North America.
They really have. They didn't just sell e-bikes. They kind of brought them to the mainstream here.
And it's such a critical area. I mean, when you look globally, transportation accounts for, almost 20% of emissions?
Wow, nearly a fifth.
Yeah, and passenger cars are the biggest slice of that pie. So e-bikes, they offer a really immediate, accessible way to start making a dent in that.
Especially for those shorter trips, right? The ones we take all the time.
Exactly, those daily routines. Okay, let's unpack this. But maybe before we get into all the numbers and the tech, we should understand the why. What's the story behind Rad? I heard it started with, a high school kid.
That's right, yeah. It's a great place to start. The founder, Mike Radenbaugh, back in 2007, he just wanted an easier way to get to high school.
Easier how?
Well, he had this hilly 15-mile commute in Seattle.
Uh-huh.
Didn't want to show up all sweaty,
Totally get that.
So he tinkered around in his parents' garage and basically built his own custom electric bike, called it the Frankenbike, apparently.
And Frankenbike. Love it. So it really came from a practical need, not like a sports gadget idea.
Precisely. It was about utility from day one, reliable transportation. And that whole idea that a bike should be a serious utility vehicle that really shaped their whole approach later on.
Yeah, it led to that direct-to-consumer model, didn't it?
Absolutely. When they properly launched, they were pioneers in North America with that DTC e-bike model. It let them cut out the middleman, control the experience, and crucially, keep prices down.
Which links right back to their mission, doesn't it?
It does. Their mission statement is pretty clear. To offer an unrivaled customer experience with radical bikes that are built for everything and priced for everyone. Built for everything, priced for everyone. That's key.
Okay, priced for everyone. Let's connect that accessibility to the impact. You mentioned the emissions. How much difference does switching one trip make?
So the number to remember is about 400 grams. That's roughly what you save for every mile you ride on an e-bike instead of driving a typical car.
400 grams per mile. What does that look like in real terms?
Just think of it like this. It's roughly the same amount as burning half a pound of coal.
Okay, that puts it in perspective. And you said earlier, lots of car trips are short.
Yeah, in the U.S., nearly half of all car trips are actually under 3 miles.
Prime e-bike territory.
Totally. It's the sweet spot. So switching those trips is genuinely one of the most direct ways an average person can cut their carbon footprint. Plus, it helps with local air quality, too.
And Rad has scaled this up significantly. How many riders do they have now?
Their community is huge. Over 680,000 riders globally.
Wow. So the collective impact must be massive.
It really adds up. They did an analysis. If those riders, let's say 650,000 of them, just to use their figure, if they each replaced only 100 car miles a year with e-bike miles.
Okay.
The collective savings would be 26,260 metric tons.
26,000 metric tons just from 100 miles each.
Yep. And to put that to perspective, it's like avoiding the emissions from burning almost 3 million gallons of gasoline.
That really underscores how small changes, when adopted widely, make a huge difference. It's not about some radical overhaul overnight.
Exactly. It's about making sustainable choices easier and more accessible for those frequent short trips.
Which brings us back to the bikes themselves. If the goal is priced for everyone and making it accessible, are e-bikes really there yet? I mean, they can still be a pretty significant purchase.
That's a fair point. They aren't cheap disposable items. But Rad's strategy helps make the price point more competitive than traditional retail.
Okay.
And the other part of the value equation is designing them as genuine utility vehicles. The idea is that the e-bike can potentially replace a second car, or maybe even the only car for someone living in a city for many trips.
Right, offsetting a much bigger cost.
Exactly. And think about who can use them. E-bikes are essentially assistive technology. They open up cycling to people who might not consider a traditional bike.
Like older riders, maybe?
Definitely. Older riders, people with physical limitations, commuters who face hills or long distances, and, like the founder, don't want to arrive sweaty. It broadens the user base significantly.
So it's inclusive. It's not just for the super fit cyclist crowd.
Not at all. It's about making movement easier and more enjoyable for more people, which, has ripple effects, less traffic, healthier lifestyles.
And this seems reflected in their product line. It's not just one type of bike, is it? They seem to have specialized models.
Oh, absolutely. They really lean into that built for everything part of their mission. They're designed as utility vehicles solving specific problems.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay, so you've got the RadWagon. That's their big cargo bike. It can handle a payload of, get this, up to 375 pounds.
375 pounds, seriously?
Yep. Think about hauling kids, pets, weeks worth of groceries. It's built for that heavy-duty stuff.
Okay, that's definitely a car replacement for some trips.
And then there are the Rad Runner models. Those are kind of the versatile, rugged utility bikes. Good for errands, commuting, just general run-around-town stuff.
The workhorses.
Kind of, yeah. And for city dwellers or people combining transport modes, you have the Rad City commuters and the Rad Expand folding bikes.
Folding bikes are key for apartment living or taking it on a train. Right?
Exactly. Storage and multimodal travel. But for me, the model that really highlights their focus on accessibility is the Rad Trike.
Their first three-wheeler.
Yeah. And what's fascinating here isn't just that it's a trike providing more stability. It's the details they thought about. Like a low-step frame, makes it easy to get on and off. It has reverse functionality.
Reverse on a bike.
Yeah, electric reverse, so you don't have to awkwardly pedal backwards or push it. Super helpful for maneuvering. And a parking brake for confidence on hills. But here's the really clever bit.
Go on.
They specifically designed it to be narrow enough to fit through a standard household front door.
No way! That's brilliant. They tackled the storage problem head-on for people who might need that stability but live in regular homes.
Exactly. It shows they're thinking about the whole user experience, the real-world barriers people face. It's not just about the ride itself.
That focus on usability and, I guess, confidence, it must contribute to what they call the rad grin, right? That sort of joy people seem to get from riding them.
I think so. It's making travel less stressful, maybe even fun. And that has knock-on benefits beyond just carbon savings, less traffic congestion, maybe getting people outdoors more.
Okay, speaking of confidence, let's talk safety, especially battery safety. That's been a concern, in the broader e-mobility space. How's Rad addressing that, if we connect this to the bigger picture?
Yeah, it's a critical issue for the whole industry, and Rad's been quite proactive. They developed their Safe Shield batteries.
Safe Shield, what does that mean, practically?
It's about preventing thermal runaway, basically, fires. The key is the internal design. They use what's called a potted design.
Potted, like a plant.
Sort of. It means each individual battery cell inside the pack is encapsulated or potted in a special thermal-resistant material. This material separates every cell from its neighbors.
Okay, so what does that do?
Think of it like fire doors in a building. If one cell gets damaged and starts to overheat, that surrounding material acts as a barrier, an internal firewall. It stops the heat from spreading rapidly to the adjacent cells.
Got it. So it contains the problem, prevents a chain reaction.
Exactly. It significantly reduces the risk of the whole battery pack going up. It's a big step for safety and consumer confidence. These batteries are also UL 2271 certified, which is an important safety standard.
That's huge for encouraging wider adoption, especially for people new to e-bikes. But what about the end of the battery's life? Sustainability isn't just about the ride. It's the whole life cycle.
True. And they're tackling that too. They partnered with Redwood Materials, a major battery recycling company.
Redwood, right. I've heard of them.
Yeah, they launched a battery recycling program through Rad retail locations. You can bring back old Rad batteries, even other small lithium-ion devices like phones or laptops.
And what happens to them?
Redwood recovers the valuable materials. The goal is to recover and reuse up to 95% of the critical metals like nickel, cobalt, copper, and lithium.
95%? That's impressive, closing the loop.
It is, and they track the impact. So far, the program's collected over 13,500 pounds of batteries.
Wow. Keeping that out of landfills.
Right. That's about 5.8 metric tons of batteries diverted from landfill just through this program.
Are they doing other things on the waste reduction front?
They are. For their newer bike lines, they focused on packaging. They managed to reduce non-recyclable packaging materials by 750 pounds for every 1,000 bikes shipped.
That adds up quickly at their scale.
Definitely. And they're also thinking about the bike's lifespan. They partnered with a company called Upway.
Upway, what do they do?
They facilitate trade-ins. So riders can upcycle their old e-bikes, actually, any brand,
Yeah.
as long as it's complete and working, and get store credit towards a new Rad bike.
Oh, cool. So it encourages keeping bikes in circulation longer, making upgrades easier.
Exactly. Promotes longevity, reduces waste. It's all part of that broader sustainability picture.
It really seems like they're trying to execute this mission comprehensively. It's not just selling bikes, it's the support, the safety, the end of life.
And the service network is a big piece of that puzzle, too. You need support if you're relying on this for transportation. They have, I think, over 500 local bike shop partners, plus more than 1,400 service locations across the country.
That's crucial for making it a viable long-term option for people, not just a gadget you buy online and hope for the best.
Right. And they foster that community aspect, too.
Yeah.
Just a fun fact, back in 2018, they actually rallied 405 local riders in Seattle
Yeah.
to set a Guinness World Record for the world's largest group e-bike ride.
Huh. That's fantastic. Shows the enthusiasm around it. It's a movement, not just a product.
It really is.
So what does this all mean when we boil it down?
Well, I think there are two key takeaways. First, the measurable impact is undeniable. Shifting short trips is powerful.
And the second?
The cultural impact. Rad Power Bikes really succeeded in scaling the utility e-bike for the North American mainstream. They made sustainable mobility feel accessible, practical, and importantly, enjoyable. They helped normalize it.
They tackled the barriers, the cost, the hills, the physical effort, the sweat factor, making it genuinely inclusive.
Exactly. And innovations like the Safe Shield batteries, the recycling programs, they show the move towards e-mobility is maturing, becoming more robust and responsible.
Which brings us to the final thought for you, our listener. Thinking about your own daily routine, your commutes, your errands, how many of those regular car trips, maybe the ones under 5 miles, could actually be transformed? Could they become a practical, maybe even joyful e-bike trip instead? Definitely something to mull over. To learn more about Rad Power Bikes, you can visit them at radpowerbikes.com.
And if you're interested in finding more brands and innovators doing cool things for a greener world, you can subscribe to the Seeing Green podcast wherever you get your podcasts. You can also check out our website and join the Seeing Green community. Just sign up at www.seeinggreen.eco. Of course, follow us at Seeing Green Eco across the social media channels.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive in the Seeing Green Spotlight series. Until next time.